my goodness. Before I play, sometimes I crack myself up, but whatever. I tried to be normal once. I really did. Let's shut off the volume here. And let's go.
Don't judge them because you think they're close to the dark. They're trying not to lose their arc. Only God could judge them, so let him judge them. Tell him about them. Tell him about them.
I know, right? Hey, Dr. D Nice, I was a teenager in the 80s, so this is my nod to all those rappers of the 80s and have my little rap to go with. Don't judge people. That's what we're talking about today, judging others. Many times we look at these celebrities, they're walking around with no clothes on. They're out there just sleeping with each other left and right and center. You hear rumors on rumors about the things that they're doing with each other, how they're treating each other poorly with money and cruel business deals. And we sit in our living rooms and we sit on the tickety talk. We sit on the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, everywhere, just judging them, evil people. And guess what? No, we should not be judging them. And I'm going to tell you all about it right here today on this segment. Listen, there are two types of people when it comes to judging others. And this is the category it falls in, whether you like it or not. There is the Christian, and then there is the non-Christian. We're not talking about legal issues where somebody has murdered or robbed or broken the law. When we're talking about the judgment that people talk about, only God can judge me. We're talking about moral codes. That's what we're talking about when I'm speaking about judgment. And as Christians, we are not supposed to be judging these non-Christians. Let me get into it and explain to you, because I'm telling you, there are two people when it comes to that kind of judgment, moral judgment. There is people in the Christian camp and the people in the non-Christian camp. End of story. Let's go. If you decided that, well, first, you know what? Let's go over the rules for judging a Christian, okay? We'll start with the rules of judging a Christian, then we get into the non-Christian. Rule number 1, if you're deciding that you need to judge a Christian. You are allowed to judge a Christian. Rule number 1 is you are. If you're a Christian, it's okay to judge another Christian. The Bible outlines it. I'll put it in the description section for you below. The Bible outlines that you can, as Christians, judge each other. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2. Rule number 2 is, if you're going to be judging people, guess what? You need to make sure you are open to judgment also. A wise person is okay with getting correction from other people. That is the second rule of Christians judging each other, determining if what they're doing is moral or right or not. Number 3 is the last one. Fix yourself first. Come on, don't be getting all up in people's business when you know you are doing the exact same thing. Don't judge other people when you're doing the same thing that they're doing. That is disingenuous. Yeah. And you're just a big straight hypocrite. Don't do that. Leave the people alone. You're doing the same thing. Don't play like that. It's okay to correct each other, but make sure that you're following those 3 rules before you start judging, before you start telling somebody that what they're doing is wrong or right or immoral, that they are evil or good. That's Christians judging Christians. Now, I mentioned before that there are 2 categories. It's either Christian or non-Christian. How do we judge a non-Christian? How we do that? Well, here we go. I'm going to tell you how it's done. How it's done is you need to go sit down and mind your business. That's all. If a person is out there living their best life, they have no claims on Christianity, they're doing their thing, they're out in the streets walking naked, they are sleeping with dogs, cats, chickens, whomever. It's one thing if it's against the law of the land, fine. But if this is a moral thing, you leave them alone. It is not your job to judge them. And I have a whole Bible verse here. I'm going to pull up a whole Bible verse on where it instructs us to do this. And then I'll tell you what it is that you can do for non-Christians. You don't have to sit idly by and watch while people destroy themselves. No, that's not what I'm saying. When you know better, you do help people to live better lives. But first, here we go. This is from 1 Corinthians 5, verse 12 to 13. It says, "What business is it of mine to judge those outside of the church? Are you not to judge those inside?" Basically giving you permission to judge the people inside the church. "God will judge those outside. Expel the wicked person from among you." Y'all see what I'm saying here, right here? Just what I said. Mind your business. Those people outside of the church do not belong to you. They are God's. They have not held on. They're not living life by the same principles that you are. How can you judge people who are not living underneath the same law that you are? That is unfair. They're not even there yet. What you can do for them is pray for them. You can pity them because, you're like, my life is great over here. You really need to join us. You can have empathy and understand that, you know what? That's tough. That's tough that you got to be living like that out in the streets like that. Man, you could even be, I said, empathetic. Maybe you also were out there like that at one time, and you understand the direction that their life is going to go in. Introduce them to the right path. You can talk to them and let them know, you know what, girl, I'm going to pray for you. Because you're going to sit there judging people by scales that they don't even recognize. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you all. I had a post up talking about modesty. And underneath it, I don't know, I think it was a girl, I don't know. She was just going back and forth with me about, oh yeah, women can wear whatever they want to. They can do whatever they want to. And at some point I realized that we're just not coming from the same place. There's no way she's going to get it. If you're and somebody not coming from the same place, they can't be judged by the same laws. They are living their life in a whole different level than you are, different place than you are. And there's another verse that I really wanted to share with you all. How do you recognize if somebody is a Christian or a non-Christian? By their fruits. A few weeks ago, I talked about the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, kindness, all those things. There is the opposite, the fruits of the non-spirit, the fruits of the evil one, people who are living a life that is just they don't have the Spirit in them yet. They will at some point if you share with them, or maybe they've decided that, you know what, that ain't for me. That's not my thing. For those people, here are some signs. I mean, you're not straight up, here we go. Here, y'all look at this, and I'll show y'all, and then we move on. Okay. Here he goes. So, but if you are led by the Holy Spirit, you are not under law. Okay. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissension, factions, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like, because they can't list everything. And I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. It is straight up, no words mixed. that people who are living this way, they're not of God. They will not inherit the things of God. And, these are people that you have to try to help, because Jesus died on the cross for everybody. He is not willing that anyone should perish. And if you have some good news, you've got to share it with people. Okay? So there it is on judgment. Bottom line is, if they're a Christian and you're a Christian, it's okay to judge each other. Just work out some things first. It's okay to help each other. You don't want to sit there and watch your brother, sister just totally mess up their life like that. That's not how we roll. We help each other out. And if they're not a Christian, you're a Christian, leave them people alone. You pray for them. You introduce them to God. You introduce them to that, you know what? You don't have to live like this. Your life does not have to be like that. There is a better way. You introduce them to God and send them on their way. And that's it. All right. Let me know in the comment section below, because let me tell you, I had to, before I end it, I could be a little judgy. I used to look through some of these like social media things. I'm like, what the heck does she have on? What he doing? Where they do that at? I used to do that all the time. And I needed to understand like judgment. Is it okay for me to feel this way? Because, Master P had that song, Only God Can Judge Me. And turns out he's right, sort of. I don't know if that man's a Christian. Does he profess to be a Christian? I don't know. But if he doesn't, then really only God can judge him. I had to do a deep dive Bible study. And really, I looked up every verse that talked about judgment. And it was really easy to find the answer. The verse was right there all along. And all the confusion I could have spared myself had I just opened up the Bible and see what the Lord had for me, some guidance, some answers. All right. Now, let me know in the comment section below. Are you judgy like me? Were you judgy like me? Are you up to judging people? I had some answers for you. What do you think? Let me know. All right. Who's in here? How was your week? Okay, we've got organic snake oil